Two people can earn the exact same six-figure salary but live in completely different worlds. Look at the first person. They landed a prestigious corporate job with a recognizable title, making over $100,000 straight out of school. Yet, they are drowning in student debt, working 80 hours a week, and constantly fighting a crowd of coworkers for the next tiny promotion. Now look at the second person. They have a strange job title most people cannot even imagine, but they earn that exact same six-figure income. They are completely debt-free, work normal hours, and have absolutely no line behind them blocking their next step up. We are always told that getting any six-figure job is the ultimate goal, but that advice is completely backwards. Popular wisdom says that hitting a high salary requires a career in law, medicine, finance, or big tech. People think you need an expensive MBA or a famous degree. However, there is a massive crack in this old logic. Those exact industries also happen to have the most crowded, exhausting applicant pools in the entire country, and that is not an accident. The truth is that the best path to wealth is something called the Invisibility Premium. I spend my time studying the hidden structures behind how companies actually pay people, rather than looking at impressive resumes. You are about to discover 9 specific, hidden careers where the obscurity itself is the exact reason they pay so much. Hit subscribe right now because we are going to break down how these secret jobs work and how you can claim this hidden premium for yourself. It makes perfect sense why so many people chase these famous careers. From the time we are young, our parents, our schools, and the media all point toward the exact same 5 or 6 high-status paths. These prestigious jobs are genuinely the most visible ways to make a great living, so it is natural to want them. However, that constant spotlight creates a massive trap. Because everyone knows about these jobs, an overwhelming flood of applicants lines up at the entry level every single year. When thousands of people fight for the same exact position, the companies do not have to compete for you. Instead, you have to compete with everyone else by collecting expensive degrees and working brutal, exhausting hours just to stand out. At that point, you are not being rewarded for your unique skills. You are just surviving a massive crowd. The big secret is that high pay was never about how impressive a job title sounds at a dinner party. True financial reward is always about how many other people are fighting for the same opening. This brings us to a concept that completely changes how you look at the job market, something called the Invisibility Premium. Simply put, this is the extra money a specific role pays just because almost nobody applies for it, regardless of how hard the work actually is. The reason most people never see these high-paying paths is that standard career guidance is incredibly limited. Schools, family members, and TV shows only point you toward the things that are already highly visible. Nobody can recommend a career path if they do not even know it exists. Every single job on our list today works exactly through this hidden lens. As we go through them, we will look at what kept each job invisible to the public, and exactly how that lack of attention protected the massive paycheck for the few who found it. To understand how this works, imagine 2 different restaurants run by the exact same master chef serving the exact same amazing food. The first restaurant is famous and sits on a busy main street, so the line to get inside stretches all the way down the block. The second restaurant is hidden away in a quiet alley with no sign on the door, so there is absolutely zero waiting time because nobody knows it exists. A job's visibility works exactly like a restaurant's fame. The crowd a career path attracts is what truly determines whether you are negotiating your salary from a position of absolute strength or just desperately scrambling with everyone else to get a table. Let us look at 9 specific jobs where this hidden math works in your favor, starting from number 9 and counting down to the absolute highest earner. At number 9, court reporters earn around $65,000 to $105,000 a year simply because nobody pictures it as a real career. Number 8, sommeliers or expert wine advisors make $70,000 to over $120,000 because people do not realize it takes intense, specialized training. Number 7, air traffic controllers can earn $130,000 to $150,000, but the extreme stress keeps applicants low. At number 6, patent agents make $110,000 to $160,000 because you must pass a brutal legal exam. Number 5, elevator mechanics bring home $90,000 to $130,000 because a strict union licensing barrier keeps the workforce small. Number 4 is where we see how fast this math multiplies, like a power plant operator earning $85,000 to $115,000. For example, a young worker enters an energy plant at a modest wage of $22 an hour as a basic assistant. Over 3 years, They study the machinery and earn a specialized control room certification, which immediately bumps their pay to $38 an hour. By year 5, they become a senior operator, and their wage jumps to over $55 an hour. Continuing down, number 3 is an electrical lineman making $95,000 to $140,000, where severe physical risks scare most people away. Number 2, commercial divers, earn $100,000 to $180,000 because underwater welding is incredibly dangerous. Finally, at number 1, a specialized trade business owner can easily net $150,000 to over $300,000 a year simply because nobody wants to manage plumbing or roofing companies. Compare 2 people at age 25. The traditional college graduate has a recognizable corporate job making $100,000, but after paying massive monthly student loans and high city rent, their true take-home pay is practically nothing. Meanwhile, the overlooked elevator mechanic makes that same $100,000, but they started earning immediately with zero college debt, leaving them with a massive financial head start. Let us look at Mark and John, who are both 26 years old and earn exactly $110,000 a year on paper. Mark took the highly visible path. He went to an expensive college, got a degree, and landed a recognizable corporate job at a famous firm. For a long time, Mark felt completely secure because his job title sounded so impressive at family dinners. But his daily reality is incredibly stressful. Every single month, Mark's paycheck is wiped out by heavy obligations. He pays $1,200 toward his massive student loans and $2,500 for a tiny apartment near the downtown office. After taxes and the high cost of city living, Mark only keeps about $1,500 a month to save. Now look at John. He took an invisible path right out of high school and became a power plant operator. He has no college degree and absolutely zero student debt. Because the power plant is located in a quiet, affordable area, his rent is only $1,000 a month. With no debt payments draining his income, John easily keeps over $4,000 of his paycheck every single month. On paper, both men make the exact same number. Mark thought he was doing perfectly fine because his career path was praised by everyone around him, right up until the actual math proved otherwise. John is not a smarter person than Mark, and he does not work any harder. He is simply building massive wealth because he chose to drive in a completely uncrowded lane. This hidden trap exists because of a powerful trick our minds play on us called status visibility bias. This simply means that we naturally choose jobs that earn us quick social approval, rather than jobs that actually give us the best financial terms. This bias happens deep below our conscious awareness. When our family, friends, and peers praise a certain career path, our brains instantly read that approval as safety. Because of this, the famous, highly visible path feels like the only safe choice to make, even when the actual math proves it is a terrible deal. If you have fallen into this trap before, you need to understand that this is not a discipline or intelligence problem. You did not make a foolish mistake because you lack focus or smarts. Instead, you were just reacting to an invisible incentive built directly into the system. You were simply following the tiny handful of career paths that society constantly puts on display as viable options. The popular belief is simple and clear. Landing an impressive, high-status job is always the smartest financial move you can make. Most people assume that if a career sounds prestigious, it must offer the best path to long-term wealth. However, the contrarian truth sitting right beside that belief tells a completely different story. In reality, the impressive job is almost always the most financially crowded and competitive one you can choose. True financial safety does not come from fame. Instead, invisibility is the exact shield that protects your high wage from being driven down by a flood of eager applicants. When a career path stays hidden from the public eye, companies must pay a premium just to attract workers. You have to remember that prestige is really just crowd noise. At the end of the day, the job that absolutely everyone wants is the exact job that nobody can negotiate. To see if you are caught in this trap, you can take action right now. Open up the official Government Bureau of Labor Statistics website and look at the wage data for 3 job titles you have genuinely never considered before. This quick search will reveal whether your personal list of good jobs is accurate, or if you are just looking at the highly visible 1% of the market. Next, calculate your true debt-adjusted income. Take your total monthly pay on paper and subtract the heavy debt obligations that you cannot exit with a single phone call, like student loans or a high car payment. That remaining number, not your official salary, is the real money you are actually working with every month. Finally, Push past the social barrier and ask one person who works in a specialized trade or a hidden niche field how much money they truly take home. Most people have never asked this simple question, which is exactly how the Invisibility Premium survives in secrecy. Our goal was never to find the job that sounds the most impressive at a crowded dinner party. It was always to find the highly profitable one that absolutely nobody else is bidding for.